Today is November 17th. Welcome on in to a postseason edition, off-season edition of Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey, coming to you from South Carolina as part of the SLU Billikens early season tip-off tournament. And Rammer, I believe now we can officially say that we are into the MLB offseason, the hot stove portion of the year. All of the postseason awards have been handed out. We've seen a few trades go down, and I guess now we're just waiting for some dominoes to start getting knocked over and all hell to break loose.
Yeah, who's going to set the market? How are they going to do it? Will it be one of the big blockbuster people up front, or will the lower level free agencies sort of start to get the ball rolling? It'll be interesting to see how all that goes here. And I think some things will start to move pretty quickly.
Yeah, the two moves, if you haven't seen them today, the two moves that were made, Aaron Brummer, the left-handed relief pitcher for the White Sox, was traded to the Braves with some actual names going back to the White Sox too of note, guys that kind of has-beens. Michael Soroka, former All-Star for the Braves, who's been hurt lately. Nicky Lopez also going back in that deal to Chicago, and then another one, Cal Quantrill from the Guardians, going to the Rockies. And that was kind of a name when I saw that the Guardians were looking to ship him. Just knowing the history between Cleveland and St. Louis with trades, I thought maybe that would be one where they would maybe take a flyer on somebody like Cal Quantrill, but he goes to and it's not a needle mover by any means, but it was
I'm not interested in flyers really.
Okay.
Bring me some good players. I'm kind of tired of low-hanging fruit and low-cost flyers. Maybe something works out. I'm out of the maybe something works out business.
That's I wanted, I mentioned the awards have been handed out. We saw all the MVP, Rookie of the Year, Manager of the Year, and Cy Young Award all given out in both leagues. And looking at it, going back into all the awards, so obviously no Cardinal won any of those awards like last year with MVP going to Paul Goldschmidt. Not so much that. Not a single Cardinal got a vote. Not a single top 10 vote for MVP. Not a top 5 vote for the Cy Young. A top 3 vote for Manager of the Year or Rookie of the Year. Not a single St. Louis Cardinal received a vote. And as far as my research goes, I believe that's the first time that has happened since 1988, Rammer. 35 years have gone by where even a Cardinal, just to get a vote, just a participation vote for one of those. And I think that is a huge wake-up call that you didn't have a single player that nobody deemed worthy of being a top 10 player in the National League this year.
Puts an exclamation point on your last place finish.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that kind of opens up some eyes to go, okay, if we're going to tell people that we think we can compete next year, we better go out and make a big splash here early on. So,
and I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I just want to be clear to our viewers, when you're talking about making a big splash, I don't care about necessarily winning the news conference or outbidding the Yankees on a given player. But bring me in the pitchers you said you were going to bring in. Let's see it, whether it's a free agent or a trade, and it probably needs to be both. That's how you get 2 good players. So are you going to set the market? Are you going to follow the market? That'll be interesting, but the results are, what players are you bringing in? Are they good enough to turn your team around from worst to first?
Yeah, and that kind of brings me to my next question for you, because we know, obviously, if you look at the list of who the top free agents are, it's Shohei Ohtani at the very top. There is zero debate as to who the top free agent is, possibly the top free agent of all time in Shohei Ohtani. This going into this hot stove season. The Cardinals probably are not in on Shohei. They probably aren't even going to get a sit down with Shohei Ohtani. The Cardinals,
I would look at him if he was going to pitch, but I don't know that he'll ever pitch again. So
Exactly.
yeah.
So if other teams are waiting to see what Shohei brings in before the market is set, and you look at that, if you're the Cardinals and you have no interest in going after Shohei, don't you go after Sonny Gray or Aaron Nola right now and you try to sign them and set the market for pitching?
The guy I want to try and get that I think would do the same thing, although it's a little more involved, and that's Yamamoto out of Japan.
Who, if you hadn't seen this, Lars Nootbaar was playing golf with him in
I did see
California just the other day. Apparently, they are really, really good friends. Their moms are friends, and I think Lars, I'm sure, has given a nice little St. Louis pitch to Yamamoto, where they believe on Monday is when the posting will happen for Yamamoto for his team in Japan. So it'll be 45 days starting on Tuesday for him to be signed with a team here in the U.S.
Yeah, and so, it does sound crazy, the money you got to put up just to talk to the guy. And at first blush, you would think that would turn the Cardinals away, but it'll let us know quite a bit about their real interest in signing a free agent, a number one pitcher, somebody who can be your guy that opens up postseason, that pitches 3 times in the World Series, that kind of guy.
Yeah.
And if they don't want to do that, and then they try and tell us one of these other guys is the guy, I'll be skeptical.
So if that is, yeah, so Yamamoto, Aaron Nola, Sonny Gray, Blake Snell, those are the top 4. Those are the top 4 pitchers that are out there right now. Josh Hader is another relief pitcher out there. And I guess too, we have to throw Jordan Montgomery is another name, who Jordan Montgomery, according to reports, has said that he would love to come back to St. Louis and pitch. And, the Cardinals did him a favor by trading him away.
But anybody but Giancarlo Stanton and Jason Hayward, they're the only guys who would say, we don't want to go somewhere. Now, it's specifically St. Louis, but it's not smart for a player to say, I don't want to go somewhere, just because you want everybody bidding. So while I'm not saying it was a disingenuous statement, the contract will be the deal.
Yeah. One name, too, that has not been linked to the Cardinals, another left-handed pitcher, starting pitcher, Eduardo Rodriguez. He opted out of his deal in Detroit. 3 years, $49 million was left on that, and he decided to opt out. Last year with the Tigers, started 26 games for them with an ERA of 3.30, 113 of those games. You do or you don't? I
do kind of like him. He's a little goofy, but you're not in a position to be picky.
Yeah. So I am this right here. I mean, we look at some of these past years and just thinking back to the last decade of Cardinal off seasons where trades kind of came out of nowhere. We saw the Goldschmidt trade. We saw the Arenado trade happen in recent years. As far as free agency goes, I think we are on the cusp of seeing the Cardinals do what we have never seen them do before and go out and spend just an extraordinary amount of money to get some of these starting pitchers to do this. But I think we'd be remiss if we didn't see a trade in there too. Is there anybody out there under contract with another team that you really want to see them go and
there's no way to
grab in a trade?
There's no way to predict a trade. It's not possible. And you brought up 2 examples as to why it's not possible to predict a trade. But based on your opening statement about nobody getting any votes in anything, I would tell you that any player on any team would help.
The kid out of Chicago, is it Dylan Cease? Chicago, the White Sox have said they're open. They are open for discussion on anybody right now.
First blush, I think he's okay. And then I talked to Greg Amsinger of MLB Network. He was in town a week or so ago and talked to him, and he said the reason the Cardinals should be serious about Dylan Cease and that why he could be good is because he's got an off-the-chart spin rate that would predict into having a high ceiling, higher than he's pitched before. So, Amsinger talks to everybody. He's a very knowledgeable baseball person. He's the lead guy on MLB. And so if he says that, it made me take a look and really notice this guy. So I'm more interested after talking to Greg than I would have been before.
Final thing, because we mentioned Shohei. If the Cardinals are not in on him, according to the Vegas odds, the Cubs are the number 2 option right now. Dodgers number 1 on the odds list, Cubs number 2. If the Cubs happen to land Shohei Ohtani, Rammer, as a lifelong Cardinal fan, as somebody that has covered the Cardinals for more than half of your life here in this town, what would it mean to you if the Cubs were able to land Shohei Ohtani?
Nothing. Doesn't mean anything. They've had great players throughout their history, but they got 1 championship in the last 100 years. It doesn't mean anything. Look at all the players they've had, going back to when I was a kid with Ron Santo and Billy Williams and Ernie Banks. And then they had Andre Dawson. I mean, they've had great players, Moises Alou and, Pryor and Wood. I mean, they've had great, great players throughout their history. They got to try and get better, and they're going to try and get better. How much better a hitter is he than Cody Bellinger?
They
lose Bellinger, they get Ohtani. Maybe a little better. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little better. Maybe. The thing that made Ohtani.
What if they get Ohtani and then trade for Pete Alonso?
I don't know. What if? Now, where are you going to play everybody?
You find I think that's a pretty simple answer. If you have Ohtani and Alonso in your lineup, I think it's a pretty simple answer to where you play those 2.
The Cardinals wouldn't do it when Fred McGriff was available 30 years ago. So I don't know. No. Yeah. What if they do? Well, what if they get all the free agents? Then you're screwed. Okay. That's the way it works. The question is, how aggressive are the Cardinals are going to be? Yeah, I don't think. I think the interdivision worry has really not been I'm not worried about it. How do we being the Cardinals, how do we make our team a first place team? That's what you got to worry about.
Well, Rammer, we will be popping in from time to time over the hot stove months as any Cardinal news breaks.
Yeah.
We will try to bring that to you here on Claibs Online. And Rammer, until that time, we're brought to you each and every day by Munganess St. Louis Acura. And also, Rammer, your friends at Royal Banks.
Royal Banks of Missouri, St. Louis, East Side, St. Charles, and Northeast Missouri. Each and every branch feels like your hometown branch. It's where better service means better banking. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
And Rammer, also, I know you're spending a lot of time. I know you guys got a lot of construction going on at Ballparks National right now. I will tell you that as of this week, we will be seeing you in late June out there.
You guys signed up?
National. We are all signed up. I think we're bringing you, 8 teams.
That's fantastic. And what Joe's talking about is Ballparks National at the Lake of the Ozarks. 4 years in a row, I believe it is voted the top youth baseball facility in the state of Missouri. And this season coming around with additions. We got 3 new fields going up, high school size fields. And we're really looking forward to a big 2024. And Joe's club from the east side is going to come down and bring the whole club. That's the way to do it. You want team building. You want camaraderie at a fun place. Ballparks National is it.
And it should be no surprise that the weekend that I had our organization pick is the Ballin' and Brawlin' weekend, where you have live professional wrestling 2 of the days of the tournament going on. It should surprise 0 of our listeners that was the one that I pushed for.
On Friday night and Saturday afternoon, and one of those days, and I forget which, they're bringing in a cage. It'll be a cage match.
If you don't think that I'm going to be texting Vernetti to somehow get involved in one of those matches, I'll go through a table, Rammer. I have no. I'll get thrown through a table. I'm fine with that. We'll make it happen out there at Ballparks National.
We'll have to do it. God, having all the kids from your club around while you get tossed around like a rag doll, that would be awesome.
We will be in touch with you folks all off season long right here on Claibs Online, but stick around and check out some of the other shows that we have, whether it be Huddle Up with Howard, all about Mizzou football, the 9th-ranked Mizzou Tigers, and Rammer, you and Matt Rocchio with another season of two-man game now that college hoops and the NBA are in full swing. So much going on each and every day here on Claibs Online. He is Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. We'll talk to you next time right here on Claibs Online.
Hi, everybody. I'm Peter Munganast with Munganast St. Louis Acura, here to talk to you today about some benefits of Acura's certified pre-owned program. After passing a 182-point multi-point inspection, Acura backs all of our certified pre-owned cars with a 6-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty and a 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Munganast St. Louis Acura has new inventory arriving daily. Come on into Munganast St. Louis Acura today, meet our award-winning team, and find that perfect certified pre-owned Acura for you.